We are back with another episode of Blockchain Buzz. Today we interview community lead of Volt Inu and YouTuber PabloCRO. Pablo is one of the first investors in Volt Inu, which has taken the crypto world by surprise this year. We talk about Volt Inu from inception, its success, the launch of VoltiChains, the Nasdaq interview, and the future of Volt Inu. If you haven't yet, come and join us, learn about Volt Inu, learn about the project, and subscribe to G Media's YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. PabloCRO, my guy, live on the Blockchain Buzz. Thanks for joining me today, my man.
Hey, man, I'm excited to be here. This is, a big deal for me. It's always good to get, new exposure, get to understand what's out there that we haven't reached yet. And this is another way to reach out a new audience. So I'm excited.
It is, yeah. This is on the Gokhshtein Media's YouTube channel. This is Blockchain Buzz. Guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button here on Gokhshtein Media's channel. But it's funny, you mentioned new audiences. I had David on my channel 2 days ago. We were just having a stream when we went from 150 people to 300 people in the chat. The chat started turning into electricity bolts. And David, after the stream, was like, yo, what is the Volt community? It's insane, the power. I saw you in there as well on the live stream, man. The Volt community came in and rated us and rated David. And I think he was very impressed.
Man, David's a cool dude. He's been in the crypto space for 10 years. I mean, he's connected to CC in a way and some other top leaders in the entire crypto space. So, we have mad respects from the Volt Army. We have mad respects for David, and the whole team. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they do a great job. Gokhshtein Media, when I talked to Dave, he said, we're going to be the Barstool Sports of the crypto space. We're going to take over, which is why I'm happy to be here, which is why I'm happy to introduce one, PabloCRO, who's a great influence in this space, to G Media and the audience, as well as Volt Inu, because I think it's a token that I've stamped my name on. You stamped your name on since the beginning. We're going to get to the story, but I think more people need to hear about it because it has so much potential here sitting here in this bear market. It's never seen a day of a bull market. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, Pablo, how did you find Volt Inu? I've heard the story a couple of times, but let's introduce it to the audience. You were one of the first people in the world, one of the first holders of Volt Inu, not yet alone the first influencer of Volt Inu.
Yeah, so basically I was doing a YouTube video on another project, because we're YouTubers, we talk about multiple things. And there was a lady that came to my YouTube and commented, have you looked into Volt Inu? And I was like, first of all, I didn't even know I had a female audience. I had no idea. You know what I mean? Like my YouTube at the time was probably sitting around 2,000 subscribers. It was pretty small. And for even to have a female in the 2,000 subscribers, I was pretty impressed. You know what I mean?
It's mostly male. It's look, crypto is mostly male. So shout out every time I see like a woman content creator or someone on Twitter, it's like you want to support because it is male dominated, but I think we're seeing more women come in.
Yeah. So after I saw, her name is Cynthia. What is her name? It started with a C. I forgot her name. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it again. I'm still waiting for her to come out and say, hey, it was me. I said hi, Anyway, so I went into the Volt Inu Telegram. I went in there, and the first thing I saw in the chart was a pump and dump at launch, which most are, they most pump instantly. People make a quick 2, 3, 4, 5x, and then they get out. That's the most common launches nowadays with most cryptos. So when I went in there, I was like, oh, another pump and dump project. Nothing to see here. But, right before I left, I was watching Boltoshi, the developer, how he was communicating to his entire community at the time, which, that community is 99% gone. But at the time, it was like he was telling everybody there. He's like, look, we have big plans for this project. Relax. This dump, we were just fighting bots. We were doing certain things, making some moves. Not a big problem. You will see some results very soon. That's what he said. Very soon. And it caught my attention. I was like, the whole community is freaking out. They're saying you're not a docs developer. Why aren't you on the VC? Like, why is this thing done? It's only been like 3 hours after the launch, and people are freaking out. Okay, this is crazy, right? So I'm watching all this happen. And Boltoshi just calm and just talking and telling people this is going to be a big project. I can assure you that it's going to be huge. So I DM him privately and I was like, look, man, I don't know what you got going on here. I like the name. Volt is a powerful name. I
It is.
love the name. That's what I told him. I love the name. I love the way you're handling people. I don't know you. You don't know me. But you know what? I have a feeling this can be a big project.
Yep.
And I was like, if you allow me, I would gladly love to help you build this from here on out. And Boltoshi responded, well, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. That's what he said. And ever since then, me and Boltoshi have been talking every day for the last almost 12 months. You know what I mean?
Insane. So when was that then? So right now we're recording this. It's December 8th, 2022. When exactly was this first day for you?
December 19th of 2020.
Wow. So that was like day what? Like 1 or 2 of launch, right?
3 hours after launch, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And for those that don't know, Volt, tell us the market cap when you got in actually. What was it around?
Well, I bought it right below 200,000 market cap.
Oh my goodness.
200K. I bought
200K.
it right. I bought it right. Yeah.
And it rode all the way up to an all-time high of 250 million. So Pablo has seen it all. That's why I wanted him on here to talk about it. There's other great people in the community. Power, Ozzy, Crypto Chick. There's so many great people in the community. But Pablo, you're one of the guys that I wanted to introduce Volt. So you got in around a 200K market cap. You've seen it all the way up to the 250 million. You've probably seen so many great stories and people thanking you. You've probably seen so much FUD. Pablo, you're the worst. It's a rug pull. It's like, it's probably been insane, but it's a project that both of us are bullish on. A project that has really taken the crypto space by storm. Let's go over some of the accolades in that year that it's been. It hasn't even been a year yet. First off, I think that this is important to talk about. Volt Inu is on 96 centralized exchanges as of today. 96. And Voltoshi said that they were going to be on 100 by the end of the year. If they get on 100, not even if, when, because it's going to happen. When they get on 100 exchanges by the end of the year, they will be the first token in DeFi history to ever be listed on 100 exchanges in under 1 year. Everybody says Shiba Inu. They did it. No, Shiba Inu launched in August of 2020. It took them a year to even get on a few exchanges, right? They weren't relevant until April of 2021. ApeCoin, that's a little bit different because they had the ins and outs. They were listed on Binance day one. No one does that. So Volt will be the first token ever to be listed on 100 exchanges in under a year. What else have they done? Well, they released their main utility, VoltiChange, which we're going to get into a little bit more because I want to talk about that because I think it's important for people to understand that because there's never been a better time to launch a decentralized exchange, and Voltoshi launched it during the perfect time during this FTX fiasco. They've had marketing buses all over the world, Volt Inu buses. They have an NFT collection that sold out. They've sponsored incredible UFC fighters like Brendan Allen, Derek Brunson, Ian Heinich, Gilbert Burns, and many, many more. They've sponsored many crypto influencers, YouTubers, Twitter accounts. Hopefully David Gokhshtein will be one of them. We'll talk about that in just a bit. And marketing. You know, the marketing has been the main thing. They've sponsored airports. They've had billboards all over the world. They're sponsoring soccer players, the Green Power Ranger, rest in peace. It's been insane to see. What has been your take on it, man? The marketing, just the beast that Voltoshi has built during this year. What's your take on it?
Well, first of all, you know, when I first got involved on day one, you know, I saw a spark that most people don't see in a crypto so early. You know, I saw a spark that, you know, something's going to be big here. I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about Voltoshi. I had no idea who he was, but it was one of those feelings that you just trust. You know, it's a gut feeling that you just go for. And you know, on the second or third day, this is where Voltoshi blew my mind. Okay, second or third day, he got listed on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and ShibaSwap on the second day. Okay, 24, 30 hours, something like that after launch. How do you even get listed on ShibaSwap right away? You must have a connection somewhere. You know what I mean?
That just only way.
So when I saw the listing on ShibaSwap within a matter of hours, I was like, okay, this man knows somebody in the crypto space because you don't just do that. And I watched Volt within 7 days go from like 200K market cap all the way to 17 million in 7 days.
Wow.
Okay. And that just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So in my mind, I was wondering, like, how did this man pull that off so quick? How? Even though it dumped all the way down to 1 million market cap, it was still in my mind. I was like, how did he do that? He must have known people. He must have had connections. He must have done so many things because he only got listed on 3 platforms, and it
Yeah.
blew to 17 million market cap. So I knew that his marketing was going to be big. I knew that. And little by little, like you said, he started with the buses, the
Yeah.
billboards. It just shows you that he has experience in crypto. He knows what he's doing, and his marketing is like his main thing. Like he almost did that for a job. Like he almost ran a marketing company. Like his marketing is crazy.
I say he did. That's what I say on live streams. I'm like, I don't look, no one knows who he is. And we're going to talk about it in a second. The fact that he's undoxed, which I think is good for this project and good for crypto, if you can trust them. But I always say in the live streams, I guarantee this guy ran a marketing firm. Like he's definitely a businessman. You see a lot of kids that are 23 that live in their grandmother's basement, launch tokens, and they all go to shit. But you see Volt Inu sponsoring people, sponsoring YouTubers, sponsoring billboards, great NFT collections, like coming out with everything at the right time. And it just shows that he's some sort of a marketer. I think he was a CMO of a Fortune 500 company. That's going to be my guess, but he's undoxed. A lot of people in crypto, there was a time where, I think, tokens in the past, they started and they were doxed. It was good to be transparent. It's good to show your face and have your first and last name in your Facebook. But we saw some developers kind of take a hit for that. People on Twitter, the online cops were pulling into their past and pulling up some offenses they had and looking into family stuff. And for me personally, if a developer's doxed, I feel more at safe for the most part. There's still some scammy developers that will show their face, but for the most part, it's like, hey, they'll show their face. It's a little bit more trustworthy. But Voltoshi's undoxed, which means no one knows who he is. He's anonymous, but he's proven to the community that he's here to support the community. He's invested so much money back into the community. How much does 96 centralized exchanges cost, right? It's like the average exchange listing is probably around $30,000 or $40,000, with the big ones like Gate.io and Polynex being in the hundreds of thousands. I mean, this man has probably put back, just on the exchange listing alone, probably $3 or $4 million back into the project, right? So he's proven that he's for Volt, that he's putting money back in Volt, which means that the community can trust him. But what are your thoughts on him being undoxed? Does it bother you? Do you like it? How do you feel about it?
I'm old fashioned. I've been in crypto for 7 years myself. You know what I mean? I'm old fashioned, and Bitcoin is the main one, is the first one that ever got created, and nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Nobody knows, nobody cares.
No.
It's that simple. Nobody knows and nobody cares.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. Imagine if somebody came out and it happened to be somebody that's hated by the media.
Yep.
Then it's going to ruin the whole Bitcoin scenario. It's going to ruin everything. You know what I mean? Same thing with Shiba Inu. Nobody knows who Ryoshi is. Nobody cares who Ryoshi is. The only thing that matters is that Shiba did what it did, and it's going to do what it's going to do. That's what matters. So Boltoshi being undoxed, in my opinion, it makes it more exciting. It makes it more thrilling and more of a meme coin scenario where it's like, oh man, this thing is so great. Like, it's making some moves and nobody knows where these moves are coming from. So it keeps our developers safe from being attacked by the media, which is number one. And then lets the developer do what developers should do, is develop. You know what I mean? They don't have time to be on every TV channel, on every YouTube, showing their favorite shirts, their shoelace, like none of that. We don't have time for that. Volt Toshi needs to work, and then people like me and you, we can show up. We can talk to people. We can do this all day long because this is what we do.
Dude, I love talking about Volt. Roddy, shout out to Crypto Journey, my Crypto Journey. He, at first wasn't really a fan of Volt. He wanted to see some building. Now he loves talking about Volt. The guy wakes up every morning, tweets, "What's up, Volt Army? How we doing?" Like, people love it. And I think, look, David Gokhshtein, I put out a tweet 2 days ago, was the most liked retweet tweet. I said, should David Gokhshtein get vaulted? It was the most liked retweet tweet. I'm guessing this episode right now, I've done probably 6 or 7 blockchain buzz episodes. I'd be willing to bet that this is the most viewed one right now. We're gonna check it out. But it's just, people enjoy being part of a good community. I've been talking about Volt since February, and I don't think I've ever seen one bad comment from the Volt Army about like, this sucks. Like, obviously people will come in and say it, but the Volt Army has always been positive, even on the ups. The downs, like, nothing's changed. It remains a tight-knit community. And you mentioned it right well. Developers should be building. They shouldn't be going on every live stream and talking about it. It's good when they do, but Voltoshi has been building. We've had the community leaders like you, Pablo, Power, Ozzy going on different interviews. Like we do a stream every single Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. PST on the Gagain show. You guys recently just went on the Nasdaq. Let's talk about that. The name of the show. Do you remember the name of the show? Something on the block.
New to the street.
New to the street. You guys did that a Nasdaq interview, dude. It's insane that this token started as the Disney dog less than a year ago, and now the community leaders, you, Power, and Ozzy, are on a Nasdaq interview where big money is on New to the Street, and it aired on Newsmax and it aired on Bloomberg. What was that experience like for you?
Man, like, you know, I never done television, first of all. I mean, YouTube is one thing. It's your comfort zone. You're in your own space. But, like, Voltoshi reached out to us and said, hey, you guys want to go to New York and do an interview with Nasdaq? And I'm
Crazy.
First of all, I'm like thinking, like, are we talking the same Nasdaq? Are we talking the trillions of dollars net worth Nasdaq? And Voltoshi's like, yeah. The only Nasdaq. And he's like, you're gonna go there, you're gonna meet a guy, you're gonna do this. He told us all the steps, right? And I'm still blown away. I'm flying to New York from Utah, man. I'm flying to New York. And I'm the way there. I'm like, there is no way that I'm gonna go get interviewed by Nasdaq. Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? I get there, I meet up with the guys, we're having breakfast across the street from Nasdaq. We're having breakfast. I'm staring at the building and I'm like, there is no way we're just going to walk in there and they're going to be like, ooh, welcome to Nasdaq. You know what I mean? So we go in there. The first thing they do, like, who are you guys? What's your name? Where are you from? Like, what you guys doing here? Okay, we told them who we were, the Volt team. Oh, the Volt team's here. Everybody like, the Volt team's here. Like, they get all excited, right? Like 3 younger guys in a stock market building. You know what I'm saying? Like most of them are old people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing against that, but that's just what most stocks are. We walk in there and they have security. We have to go through security. They scanned us for weapons. They look through everything. We're going through security like the airport. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Then we go into a lobby full of screen TVs everywhere. Couch, a little hangout area. The guy comes out like, oh, you guys are the bold guys. Yes, come with me. Takes us to the back room where they're gonna do the interview. And he says, all right, we have like 3 or 4 interviews ahead of you guys. You guys are the last ones. We're saving the best for last. Is what he said. We're saving the best for last. Like, okay. So we sat there and we watched all those interviews happen. And then it was our turn. You know, my heart's pumping. Like, there's no way, man. We're going to be on national television. Like, this is crazy, right? I know the other 2 guys, Ozzy and Power, they're even in worse position because they have never doxed themselves. You know what I'm saying? They have never showed their faces on camera or nothing. So those guys were like, oh, my God, right? As soon as the lady starts asking the questions, I knew that I had to, like, be the first one to speak out. I knew because I know the other 2 guys were froze. I knew that. I felt it. I was like, they're scared to death. So I started opening the room, talking to the lady, and then they just took off from there. And you guys, you know, seen the interview.
Yeah, it was great. And you know, it's funny. I've seen, you know, Powers come on our show quite a bit. I've heard his voice, but it was just a phenomenal interview, man. You guys really crushed it. You spoke greatly and eloquently about Volt Inu. You talked about Volti change. You talked about the community. That was the most important thing you talked about. They're like, hey, why is Volt where it's at? And all 3 of you guys said the community. I think Volt's at where it's at because of the community. Talk to me about the community, man. It's one of the strongest communities we've seen in DeFi. Like we just saw, we're on G Media's YouTube channel. We just saw the tweet we did to him. Most retweets we've ever seen. It's like the community has always been there from day one. But I think it starts from the top down. It's great leadership, and obviously Voltoshi number 1, then Pablo, Power, Ozzy, and then there's obviously another tier below you. And it's like it just trickles down from the top. But it's just been a great community to be a part of.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I know you want the next Shiba. I want the next Shiba. Everybody wants the next Shiba, right? We all do. Most of us, even though we caught a little bit of it, a good piece of the pie, we didn't get a good chunk of it. We missed the main event, which is buying below, you know, 100, 500 million market cap or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? we missed that train. We missed it. We came a little late. We might have showed, most of us might have shown up after 1, 2, 3 tier ones announcements, whatever, you know. So we all want the next ship. So what happened with Volt? You know, when I was the first one on the VC by myself, okay, the first one. You know, I would text Boltoshi and I was like, look, I'm gonna promote that we are going to build the next Shiba. And Boltoshi always said, that's exactly what we're here to do. You know, that's what he said. So every time a new person would come in here in the voice chat, I would sit. I sat there for 72 straight hours by myself the first few days. 72
Wow.
hours.
Crazy. Do you sleep?
I didn't sleep. We had a couple other guys that we were like, hey, take over for a minute. I'll go grab food and come back and be back again. But like for
Crazy.
the first 72 hours, man, a person would come in and I would be like, look, are you looking for a quick pump and dump or are you looking for the generation wealth? And one of the guys would be like, oh no, I'm just here for a quick pump. All right, well, get out of here. It's not for you. And slowly and slowly and slowly, we filter the people. You know, people would come in and say, I'll sell my bag right now if the developer doesn't show his face. And they would. They would sell 5E, 10E. At the time, it was a lot of money. It would dump the chart over and over and over. But I was like, you know, we're not here for that, man. We're here to take a project and send it to the top 10 cryptos in the world.
Yeah.
And in order for us to do that, we have to build the proper foundation. We have to find the right people at the floor level to help us get it to the top.
Yep.
And that's why we created this amazing community, because we filter all the bad and kept all the good. We filter all the bad and kept all the good. And then we taught them all the techniques it takes to be like the Shiba army, to be like the Dogecoin army, because that's who we look up to, you know?
Yeah, it's no secret. It's like it takes a bot-in community, you know, it takes a team, right? And like, you know, we'll tweet something and you'll look in the Telegram and it's like, hey guys, go raid this, and hundreds of people go and raid it, right? It's like it's a team. It takes a teamwork, which I think is what leads to success. Now, the main utility, one of the main utilities, I should say, launched about 2 weeks ago, and it's called Volt Exchange. And there has never been a better time in the entire history of crypto, Pablo, to launch a decentralized exchange. We had Celsius go down, we had Voyager go down, we had BlockFi go down, we had FTX go down. What is everybody saying? Get your money off exchanges, stop using exchanges. What is Voltoshi launched during all of this? A decentralized exchange. So Volt Exchange had 500,000 wallet connections in a span of 1 week. Let me say that again, in case my microphone cut out. 500,000, 500,000 wallet connections in the span of 7 days. People are using it. People are loving it. It's working flawlessly. I don't hear anybody having any issues with it. Volt Exchange is out now. How's it going? What's your feedback from the community for people that are using Volt Exchange?
Oh man, like, well, first of all, we started with voltachain.com, right? And the servers crashed. The servers crashed. We had too much traffic coming in. So Boltoshi had to react quickly as a developer, and he did. In a matter of hours, we already had a new website, everything, voltachain.net, and that's what we usually use now. And .net became the main one because it handles more traffic. It does so much better. And now, like you said, we're handling 4, 5, 6, 700,000 wallet connects at once, no problem. You know what I mean? And it's like, you look at our holders, we're sitting at 55,000 holders. How are we getting 400, 500,000 plus wallet connects? And the reason why is because the utility with VoltaChain is to make every crypto on the Ethereum blockchain and the Binance network deflationary. So if they come and they use VoltaChain on every buy and sell for their own token, even not even Volt, their own token, they're burning their supply. And it's something that, you know, PancakeSwap doesn't offer, Uniswap doesn't offer. And, you know, if you get listed on PancakeSwap or Uniswap, you're automatically listed on VoltaChain instantly. That's the bullish thing about VoltaChain. It's just powerful, not including the automatic buybacks from every buy and sell from every project goes back into Volt.
Yeah, it's set up beautifully, you know, especially in a time where, you know, a lot of these decentralized exchanges are charging $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to get listed. It's free for every token to get listed on Volt Exchange. If you want to buy Shiba Inu, let's say I want to buy Shiba Inu, I could go to Uniswap and buy it, and I get my Shiba Inu, right? And Uniswap gets transaction fees. Or I could go to a Volt Exchange, I could buy my Shiba Inu. 0.25% of that transaction goes back to burning Shiba Inu, which is, it's incredible, right? Like, why would I not use Volt Exchange? Why would I use a centralized exchange where I'm at risk of losing my money? Why would I use Uniswap where it's not gonna add to burning Shiba Inu? I would use Volt Exchange. On top of that, Volt holders should use Volt Exchange because it is going to buy back and burn Volt. But it's almost like this man Voltoshi or woman, I don't know if it's a man or woman, is from the future. It's from the future because he or she literally has been able to predict all of this. Like, to launch a decentralized exchange during all of this mess is just, it's what do you believe in? God, universe, a higher power? Like, it's almost just perfect timing. It's divine, if you ask me.
One thing I want to say about Voltoshi's been in the market for a very long time. He's actually a big Ethereum whale. He bought Ethereum under $1. Wow. You know what I mean? That's how long around he's been. This man was wealthy 6 years ago. He's been wealthy for a very long time. So if you're gonna put your money in a project, okay, wouldn't you rather the developer already have money, that he's not out to just make money, instead of a guy that you found on, you know, that just launched a project and, like you said, he lives in a basement, or he has a day job, or, you know, he still has a career and he's just trying to get out of that career, buying houses, buying cars, flashing this, flashing that. You've seen it. I've seen it. We all seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah. You don't know how he lives. You have no idea. He doesn't talk about nothing fancy, nothing. All you see Voltoshi do is work, deliver, work, deliver. That's all you see.
Yeah, I see it all the time with developers that are broke. Like, they get $1 million in the marketing wallet. Guess what? They buy a new house, they buy a new car, and their project goes to shit. So yes, I would want someone that already has money, because they, one, know how to handle money, right? I mean, I'm sure it happened to you and I. It's like when you first get that big sum of money, you're like, oh shit, right? And like you know, I don't want to say this like this, but it's like, I don't want to say, it's not hard to make $1 million. A lot of people made $1 million in crypto, but how many of them kept it is the question. It's hard to keep it. It's not as hard to make it. Obviously, it's still tough to make it. You have to find the right plays and be good at investing, but it's harder to keep it than to make it. And Voltoshi's proven that he's made it. Look, I would imagine, just in terms of all the influencers, the fighters, the soccer players, the buses, the NFTs, the UFC fighters, the payments for exchanges and Volt Exchange, this man has probably put around, and you can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but around $10 to $15 million back into the project. I would guess, if I had to add up all the different things that he's paid for, maybe more. Most developers wouldn't do that. Most developers would put $10 to $15 million into their bank account and leave, right? And we've seen that a lot from developers. So he's proven that it's not about the money. I think he's trying, like, look at Elon Musk. It's not about Twitter. It's not about the money for Elon Musk. He's trying to build. Like, some people are just serial entrepreneurs and they're trying to build. The sad part about this space is a lot of people are serial developers and they're trying to take.
Yep. Well, one thing that really, like, should put it in the back of your head is, like, Volt had a migration, right? We had a migration. It was a flawless migration.
Flawless. Shout out to Everrise.
Flawless migration. But what happens when a migration is, you take all your tokens, all your money, and you send them to the developer. That's what you do. You send them to him. You know, Voltoshi was holding like $9 million in his hand, in a wallet. $9 million. Now, if he was any type of shady, if he was out to be a criminal, if he was out to be, you know, evil, guess what? He would have just taken those $9 million and disappeared. He was not doxxed. We don't know anything about him.
Crazy.
He had $9 million in his hand, and he refunded everything to everybody for V2.
Yeah. Hey, I've never had $9 million in my hand at once. I would like to say I would do the same thing, but I know a lot of developers in this crypto space. They might say, oh, you know what? Let's send back 8 million, you know, and for those other 2 or other million that don't get it, we'll block them. Don't have to hear about him. But yeah, he's proven a few things to me as someone that's covered this token since February. 1, he executes. 2, he does the right thing. And 3, he reinvests into the project, which is why Volt is where it's at today. Now, Volt Inu, I started the podcast by saying this. It's never seen a day in a bull market. It launched in the December, which is, we hit our all-time high in November. Times were still good in December. We were kind of going down. January, February, March is when we really started going down, but it's never seen a day in the bull market. She has only seen the bull market, right? Obviously now bear market, but when it launched, it only saw the bull market. A lot of these tokens that launched in May and June and July of 2021 only saw the bull market. How do you think that adds up for Volt, a token that's been building consecutively in the bear market, consistently in the bear market? How does that add up when the bull market turns back around?
Oh man, this is where it gets really excited. If you're looking for a ticket to wealth, this is where it gets exciting because when Volt launched, it was ranked number 3,500 in coin market cap, right? Right now, we're sitting at like a 250 rank in coin market cap. See, the thing is right now, a lot of people, they look at blue chips. Well, blue chips already got listed on all these top tier exchanges. They already released their utilities. They already done a lot, right? Most blue chips. So blue chips are now attached 100% to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin moves, they move. That's just how it works, right? So you're looking at a blue chip in the top 100, possibility making a 20, 30, 40x if you're depending on which one you buy. I mean, but that's it. That's as much as you're going to go on this next bull cycle, right? You look at Volt with the capability of bringing you 100 to 1,000x plus, the capability sitting at a 80, 90 million market cap. You know what I mean? 90 billion from here is 1,000x. We're going to see a lot of blue chips hit 90, 100, 200, 500 billion. That's going to come. You're going to see that. So it's not a unrealistic price that we want to get to. It's not unrealistic. But one thing that I want to point out for sure, when everybody's standing still, Volt is moving into the top 100. It's moving slowly. Yep. If you go back a month, we were sitting in the rank 500, 600, and now we're sitting in the 250-ish. See, what's going to happen 30 days from now? We're getting listed on PoloNex here in the next few days. Top tier exchange. We still have like another 12, 13 top tier exchanges that we can get listed on before the bull run even kicks off. Think about the possibilities with Volt.
Wild. It's wild. It's one of the most fun communities to be a part of. It's one of the most prospecting. Like, it's a high prospect in my list. It's really one of the only tokens that's building during the bear market. I put a tweet out the other day too. I said every influencer is going to get volted soon. I think we're going to get David Gokhshtein volted, Rodney, me, you, everybody is on the Volt army, and it's just a great project to be a part of. So I want to do this episode. We usually keep them about 30 minutes for G Media, just to introduce Pablo, a good friend of mine. I can't wait to meet you in person, and the Volt Inu token to this new community. Pablo, if people want to follow you and follow Volt that are watching this, where can they find you? Where's the best information to find Volt Inu?
Well, you need to follow the Twitter page, the Volt Inu official. Make sure it's Volt Inu official with the check mark, the blue check mark. They have about 115,000 followers as we speak today. And you can also follow me at PabloCRO on YouTube, and I have all my links from there.
PabloCRO on YouTube. What a great episode. Volt Inu. I guess Gokhshtein Media has officially been volted. Thank you guys for tuning in, guys. Volt Army, make sure to smash this like button. Leave some comments below. Share it online. Let's make this the most watched video on Blockchain Buzz on Gokhshtein Media's episode. Pablo, we appreciate you coming on, and we will see you next week on Wednesday, 9 a.m. PST for the Volted Wednesday live stream from the Gagain Show. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Peace.